Sometimes you think that the wicked will always prosper. And sometimes you think that we as a country are going to be overcome by stupidity trends that we have from year to year, it seems like. But occasionally, we're thrown a bone. And we're thrown a bone because God gave us an amazing and wonderful country that is now going to put China under the table. Like, it's over. I honestly believe, calling it now, I honestly believe that it's over for China. And we're going to tell why it's over for China. And there's some other cool headlines we'll get into, but welcome to the ripple effect. This is my attempt to show you the impact on your life and on your family's life of every decision and choice and headline that we see, and how it affects you, your family, and how in reverse you can have an effect on the world around you and make a ripple near you. So, for years, China has been balancing their economy and their people over outreach, meaning that they have been creating and creating and creating. We think we're in debt. We think we're, as a country, are in debt, and we are. We're hugely in debt. And we think that China can outspend us. We think that China can outdo us. Unfortunately, unfortunately for them, fortunately for us, China cannot do that. They've been trying for years and years and years and years and years, trying to outspend us, trying to bring costs down. How do they do that? Well, you make something here, they figure out your IP, and then they steal it and create it cheaper over there. And in fact, they have places like Temu and Shein that are paid for by the government to reduce the prices of those things just to destroy our mom and pop shops, so we have no choice, so they can corner all the markets and they can control it. One of the things that they've been controlling is lithium. They have had the market cornered with lithium, and Trump freaked out about this, okay? When he came into office, he talked about just how bad that was, that lithium was being cornered by China. And that's why he did a lot of the reason why he started doing the outreach that he was doing by military arm, but going out in these areas, taking back the oil, taking back all the gas, all the stuff that we needed, right? Lithium is an extremely rare thing. And China had the entire market cornered on it, meaning they could control everything, give themselves priority. Why is that so important? Is it because it goes into Teslas and we need Teslas? No. It's because it goes into things like drones. And when in warfare that we're going to need a lot of drones. And China's creating so many drones. They need batteries. Well, our country, this beautiful country, that is the gift that never stops giving. Remember that when people forget just how divine the appointment it was for us as a people to come here and create this beautiful, wonderful country that we want people to melt into, not just become independent in it. But so let's just put it this way. With a new president becomes new interests and new focus. There has been a discovery in 2 different locations in America, and they're releasing it now, the information, at a perfect time when we are in conflict with Iran, and we're showing just how dangerous and terrible China is. The U.S. Geological Survey just announced that Appalachians have more lithium in them than you can possibly imagine. This is a headline again from Not the Bee. Again, Not the Bee has been killing it. If you want a good resource for conservative news, go there, because they have some stuff that not even a lot of the pundits are even talking about. They have proven 2.3 million metric tons of lithium oxide in the Appalachian region. Enough to give you an idea of how much that is. Enough to create 130 million Teslas or 500 billion cell phones. Why is that important? Because of drones. I'm going to say it again. Militaries are not going to be building massive ships anymore. I mean, we still do the carriers because they have a lot of use. But even the aircraft on the carriers use drones in coordination with their attacks. Those require batteries. Now, they believe the estimate of 2.3 to be wrong. They believe it's actually something a little more like 7.4 metric tons. And if that doesn't blow your mind, next to that, that's not even the biggest find. The biggest find from not that long ago is that in the supervolcano caldera on the Oregon-Nevada border, they have more lithium discovered, just recently, more lithium discovered than all of the world's reserves combined. If you don't think that's a death stroke to China, you've not been paying attention. China doesn't have money. If you think that they do, look at something like China Uncensored. I've said this before. They're an amazing channel. They really get behind what's going on in China because China is lying so much to try to hide where they're at. Their infrastructure is collapsing. Their GDP is collapsing. They have nowhere to hide what they're doing anymore, and they're on the brink of utter and complete ruinous collapse. And they have been for a long time, and it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse, more precipitous. And they've spent trillions of dollars in trying to corner the market on lithium, and so they can control power. The only way they can win is if they control power across the world. Both. I didn't mean to be a pun there, but power. And here comes America. Mind you, we're restructuring the entire world with changing oil. Right now, instead of going to Iran, people are coming to America to get oil. And now we're restructuring the entire thing. We have enough lithium for not just us, but all of our allies as well, in vast, vast, vast quantities. This is the end of China's global intentions and power. All that trillions of dollars they spent to get good relations with all these countries is pointless at this point. And you should be thankful that God gave us a country where that's the case. What are we going to do with that? What are we going to do with that? Are we going to squander it in this next election and let a Democrat get in who will then pull back our power by refusing to use these minerals and these resources and give China back the power? It's possible. It's possible. On that topic, more and more information is coming out about how the Biden DOJ was going after Christians, intentionally going after Christians. They wanted to destroy Christians of any stripe, brand, or way. And if you don't understand what the impact of that is in your life, if you say, well, I'm remotely Christian or I'm remotely conservative, it's like they're going to come for you eventually. I forget that story, but where they come for this person and no one does anything, and they come for this person and no one does anything, and they come for this person and no one does anything, but then they finally come for you. That's exactly what's going to happen. And we're not even conspiracy theorying here. It's going to happen unless we all stand up against them and do something. And there's the horseshoe right that is trying to destroy us right now, trying to destroy the Conservative Party, trying to destroy everything to do with good and moral and biblical and strong beliefs that we have in our country to put good people in positions of power. These yahoos, like Nick Fuentes and them, are trying to get you to not, or those kind of people that listen to them, to not vote in these elections, to tank the Republicans so that we can have no power. The point here of having an effect is not to not vote because Republicans are bad, and I did a video on how bad the Republicans are, is to get good Republicans in, to get good conservatives in. If not, we will have the DOJ discriminating again against conservatives. You'll have all the DEI garbage coming back in with full force. You'll have all the racism garbage coming back in with full force. You'll have all the transgender stuff coming back in full force as soon as someone else gets elected. In a completely different note, Spirit Airlines. There's a lot of conversations going on about Spirit Airlines. And there is a degree of consumerism that we have in the United States of monopolies. The monopolies are the airlines. Think about it. If all the airlines get together and agree on something, what are we going to do about it? Nothing. We've not been able to do anything about it for a long time, where airlines give us worse and worse and worse service, and we just have to take it. Take it right on the chin. Bam. And that's it. And if you watch the progress of airlines from the very beginning to now, you can see how government interference has constantly done this over and over again to give us less quality service at a higher price. Spirit Airlines is going under. If you were to think of the worst ride possible, it's Spirit and Frontier. Maybe there's some other ones out there I don't know of, but those are pretty close. I'm okay with Spirit going under. I want the airlines to give us good quality service. I don't want my knees banging on the seat in front of me. I don't want someone breaking my guitar and having to have a video created about it, if you know that inside joke there. We shouldn't allow them to mistreat us. And the choices that we choose and who we go with to destroy companies like Spirit is a good thing. Because we need to demand change even in our structures like this. And this is what I mentioned. When you have, and I'm going to give you another example, it just popped in my head. We've been looking for a new home, a new house. And a lot of these new builds give you all these great offers. Come to find out that all these things that I talked about, where all these big companies come in and they buy all this land and start building their stuff on it, well, they're getting in class action lawsuits because of, one, their quality of their builds, because it's not the mom and pop shop down the street that you know and that you can talk to and have a good conversation with, and you know their family lineage who's building your home. No. It's people from out of town that just come in and they build these cookie cutter places in the middle of everywhere and destroy the beautiful landscape, destroy all the views and everything else. And again, I understand we have to in some cases, because we not have to do that, but have to have houses because we need housing. I get that. But these big corporations that are doing this kind of thing is not what we intend when we say we want free enterprise. We want quality. And a lot of people are paying through the nose for things that are not quality. For example, Spirit. I remember looking back in the day for flights. And so I'm going to tie it back. And Spirit wasn't that much cheaper than a lot of the other airlines. But man, was it so much worse when you looked at all the things that they shove you into. And have you seen those new ones where you're almost practically standing for the entire flight because they have like the tiered systems? We cannot allow them as a people. We cannot allow them to do this kind of stuff to us. Seeing Spirit go down in flames will shake up the entire airline industry. We need to stop being commodities to people out there. And people like Ben Shapiro make this mistake all the time. This high-minded conservatism that thinks of everything's okay because as long as a free enterprise, if a big company becomes a big company, it's okay. No, sometimes it's not okay. Sometimes we need to bring it back to our local areas. For example, the Dollar Generals destroying mom and pop shops across America are now in a class action lawsuit over all the lying that they do, where they change the prices on stuff and don't tell anyone. And they come in and destroy towns. Walmart's going into these kind of areas. And because they have such cutthroat practices and they have such a big corporation power behind them, the mom and pop shops are chased away again and again. I know that I'm speaking against the wind, so to speak here, yelling into the wind. But they've proven statistically that when a Walmart moves into an area, the amount people make per hour goes down by about $1.50 for everyone. Meaning you make less money when Walmart moves into your area. We need to stop making people so much of the market. Subscriptions. What are subscriptions? You ever think about that? We've allowed them to take us and make us into a market where you're spending more money if you do all the subscriptions. I can't afford to do them. We're down to I think one subscription because it's so incredibly expensive. And people have Netflix, Prime, they have, Disney, they have all these things. They go through crazy things of subscriptions. And you become the client, not the client, the consumable. We need to tell these corporations, just like with Spirit, that enough is enough. We're not just going to endlessly hand them over dollars and money. We're not. We can't. We want quality service. We want quality bills. We want quality flights. We want quality services from places like, again, subscriptions. If I'm going to pay for it, I want quality. And you say, well, Caleb, why are you going off track with this? Because we need good people in politics. Because when you go to fight these corporations, you're not fighting the corporation. You're fighting all of the laws and legalities that have gotten these corporations to where they're at. That's why when you go up against them, you have no chance. No chance. And that needs to change. Where we have some kind of impact on these things, on these corporations, to give us quality back in our lives. Now, That's a total different approach to it, but a lot of people are not going to see that when it comes to Spirit. They're not going to see why it's going down, because finally people are pulling enough back from it and saying, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to pay extra money to go on a decent seat. And that's how it should be. I'm going to pay extra money to go to the mom and pop shop. I'm going to spend the extra money to go to the local coffee shop instead of going to Starbucks and things like that. Do those kind of things. Now, in the final jokey moment of the day, the UN names Iran VP for Conference on Nuclear Non-Proliferation. I can't. I just can't. But the funny part is kind of like a backwards joke, because of course they're on nuclear non-proliferation. We bombed them so they couldn't have them. So I guess the UN's not wrong. Well, welcome to Friday, guys. I hope that last one makes you laugh. Think of the impact that you have in your life. Think of the impact things have in your life and make a difference. And try to reach someone today and help them make a difference as well. If you like what you see here, like, comment, and subscribe. I got one more subscriber. I'm very, very thankful for that. Please keep sharing it so we can continue to grow. So we can get these kind of things out there. And so we can do things like tear down companies that are not doing good quality stuff in our country and force them to give us what we want, which is quality and good things. Making things in America, I'm good with that too. Costs more, but it comes with quality. Thank you so much. Have a good day.